Singing is good crack. Good crack. Doing karaoke. Oh, I love a bit of karaoke. Any chance you get to do a bit of karaoke?
I haven't done karaoke in a while now.
I'll jump at the opportunity. A bit of all the Disney hits, all the Disney classics. Aladdin, Little Mermaid. Ooh, bit of Little Mermaid. That's my favorite.
To show you the world.
Oh, did I rant about that song and the language difference in the French version on here?
No.
Probably 10 years ago, yeah.
Okay, we're recording now. Cold open. So in the English version of Whole New World, it has the little internal rhyme bit in the first verse. I can shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did your last... So when did splendid? In the French version, those bits don't rhyme. And it loses the whole rhythm of the song.
Yeah, bloody Frenchies.
Some French versions sound better than the English ones, I will say.
Too lazy to translate it properly. They could come up with good rhyme.
Very much so.
They said, don't bother.
Le monde nouvelle, il n'a pas besoin.
It's lunchtime. I'm finished for the day.
I gotta listen. I was gonna talk about Clair Obscur later on. I was reading into all my great material I had about that. I think this is bad here in Japanese role playing game. I hate to see how it's going in French role playing game. Open for business. Clair Obscur, it's like get past. Come on, you know you want it.
Oh dear.
Oh mon dieu. Oh mon dieu.
Oh, itchy and scratchy land. Anyway. We just do a cold open anyway. So it's ChairShot Podcast in it. You know what it is. We're a solid minute into it with all that rubbish and doing silly accents. The crew's all here. It's Sunday evening. I'm one of your hosts, Barry, joined as always by the lads. Paul is here,
continuing to do that silly accent that I do every week.
Joe is here.
I'm here. Hello.
Speaking the King's English.
Oh, hello.
We've got a jam-packed show for you boys. Well, not just for you two. Everyone, the people listening also get to. I mean, we're being very generous here. You guys get to enjoy it. They get to enjoy it. I mean, it's jam packed. We've got a huge slate here of stuff to get to. I mean, me and the boys, listeners. Here's a little peek behind the curtain. Here's a little inside baseball for you. Here's a little fourth wall break. We record this on with our webcams on, typically, so we can see each other, get that the eye contact, go with the trademark ChairShot chemistry that you come to expect. I have mine off this week, boys, because I'm sitting here as red as the Ace of Hearts, as what I guess you would say if I was to pick a playing card. I don't know why any of the hearts. I mean, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. Which one has the most? Probably one of the face cards. They have the most red.
I would say the 10 would probably have the most red.
Oh, Mr. Bellatro here. He's cracked it open.
I have a deck of cards here somewhere.
Oh, bloody Darren Brown over here.
What would you say if I turned to you and said, no, actually, the 11 has more on it? Yes, it has been another absolutely beautiful, scorching week here in Ireland.
Oh god!
Oh, I'm kind of so. Paul again via the magic of webcam is showing us. He's got the classic farmer's tan,
the classic squashy drumstick squashy.
Yes, yeah. It actually, because you just look like you've got a nice little bit of colour there to the old neck and the face, not looking too bad. But then when you contrast it, when you pull the shirt down, it's like, oh wow. I'm kind of the inverse because I was at the beach today and I had a lovely day. It was really wonderful. It was just a great lounge day. It wasn't too busy because there was a match on in Limerick, so it wasn't jam packed. And I thought I was, as is always the case, I thought I was doing a good job keeping on top of the old sun cream. I guess not. Yeah, I guess lesson learned, I wasn't. I am sitting here topless, luminous red, boys. Let me tell you, I am radiating.
Oh, God.
Right.
See how they say on the thing, like, oh, you have to reapply every hour. Fuck that. I'm not putting it on every hour.
Yeah, woke rubbish. I'm not doing that. Listen, I'm not letting the nanny state tell me when to put on some sun cream. I'll just die early, thanks.
I'll just put it on at 10 a.m. and that should do me for
That's the beginning of my day. I put it on before I went out into the sun. Is that not good enough? Sorry, how many suns are there? Just one. Yeah, all right. One application then, is it? But yes, I am burnt to a crisp. But you know what? I don't even regret it. It was still a good day. I went for an hour's swim, very refreshed, and better than just. I mean, I think I was just talking last week about how much I enjoy just not being outside in the sun and not taking advantage of the warm weather. But it was nice to do so today. Burn notwithstanding. How has the week treated you boys?
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lots of walking. Lots of golf.
No, he's back on the what? The green, is that what they call it?
On the green.
On the links, on the fairway.
That's what I was looking for, yeah.
Yeah. Hitting the ball very far. I'm
yeah.
I'm a real Roger Federer at the golf side.
Yeah. Hits it near the hole. That's what you want to do.
I thought you were going to make a Mario golfer. He's like, I'm a real Yoshi.
Birdo. I'm a real birdo over here. No, I mean, I played golf for a very long time. It's only these last 2 years that I've got good at it. You know the way, golf is typically a game played by an older gentleman or an older lady. I think there's something in the physiology where you can't start getting good at it until you are like 35 minimum, and then whatever golf genes start kicking in. Suddenly, I never used a driver until last year. Never owned one. And I was one of the people who would say, I can't use one. I have to use the irons. I tried drivers, can't use them. And then when you start using them, I fucking hit the ball 250 yards. Why was I doing that the whole time? Anyway, very, very fun. Like playing golf. Walked over. I did lots of steps. Yesterday. We had to buy a magazine. That's the new excuse to go for a walk. Oh, the magazine's out. Have to go buy the magazine.
But that's a good reason as any.
And hour 45 walk there, and then hour 45 walk back. So you get your steps in. So enjoyed a lot. I was out a lot. That's why we listeners, we have no movies to review this week. A little bit of telly. I mean, I do feel like the telly is starting to slow down, which will let some movies slip their way back into the run sheet.
Yeah,
but lots of time spent outside this last couple of days. Not a lot spent inside.
What about you, Joe?
Yeah, very, very busy weekend. We had, of course, the FA Cup finals in England. Men's Cup final yesterday, which Crystal Palace won, beating Manchester City. Very exciting.
So we're very, very happy.
I'm not a Palace fan as such because I prefer their local rivals, Millwall. But it's nice to see a local team winning, and their training ground and academy is literally at the bottom of our road. So every day we walk down the road and we walk past the Crystal Palace, academy. So nice to see a new team winning it as well, and that was very, very nice. And then
nice to see Manchester City lose it.
Nice to see Manchester City lose it, and then little baldy Pep Guardiola throwing a little tantrum.
Oh, Liverpool baby!
Oh, we didn't win again. Didn't like it. So it was a lot of fun, and then it was my cousin's 50th birthday last night, so we went. Very, very fun. Not unfortunately, but my cousin's husband is a big Crystal Palace fan, so obviously we didn't go out until after the final was finished. Final didn't finish till like 6:37, so we didn't get to the restaurant until 8.
Sure.
So we didn't start eating until 9. So I ate the biggest slice of cheesecake you've ever seen at about 11:15 last night.
Right.
Woke up this morning, the belly is gone. It's no good anymore. The belly, the whole digestive system is finished. I had a plate of pasta at like 9:45, so I'm basically going to be immobile for a week at this point.
Right.
That was the only downside. Other than that, it was very nice to see the family and everything. Yes,
I did see birthday on the run sheet, and I did have a mini heart attack.
Birthday.
Joe's birthday, wait a second. Barry's birthday, wait a second. Michelle's birthday, wait a second. So look, I didn't miss any.
None of the core crew. So that was fun. And then today, a little bit hungover and belly aching. We did schlep over to Wembley Stadium once again to see the women's FA Cup final. which we got free tickets to because Michelle is a blue light card holder, which is a card they give to usually to like NHS workers or emergency service workers, but because she works for podcast wives, if you're high up enough for your podcast ladder. No, because she works for a charity, you can also get one as well.
Right.
So we got free tickets to that, which was good. It was a lot of fun. Not a great game, I'll be honest. And Chelsea just wiped the floor with United.
3-0, was it?
Yeah, we actually left at 1-0. Because I was like,
you're like, I've seen enough.
Oh, wait, it was like 8 minutes left. I was like, look, Chelsea are going to win this. Let's beat the rush, get to the tube station in 5 minutes and, get on our way. So, heard the 2 goals as we were walking out. I was like, made the right decision here, boy.
Oh, dear.
So that was good. Then we went for a Wagamama, where we also got 20% off the bill. What? So, very nice weekend.
Well, why was the discount?
That was the blue light card as well.
Oh, the same
restaurants. Yeah, it works in lots of places. So, we're loving life with that one.
There's a Wagamama being installed at my local shopping resort.
What's that?
Shopping center, whatever you want to call it. Shopping
mall.
What's a Wagamama? What's a Wagamama?
So you're saying there's like an emporium of shop. No, so you're telling me if
we're not doing the airplane, it's a hospital building full of people, but let's not do that right now.
So I need cornflakes and a hammer, and you're saying I can go to one place to get that. Hang on.
Wow.
Anyway, tell me. No, I'm talking about your mall. Your mall.
Wagamama is an Asian fusion restaurant. So
it's a restaurant, okay.
It's a restaurant, yeah. It's a mix of kind of Japanese, bit of Korean sort of dishes.
Tasty.
So it's quite good.
I will say the one that's being installed though, they have the most unappetizing like promo on the front of the building where it's coming. It says something like soon we slurp. I say I don't want to go to restaurants where people be slurping.
Yeah, that is. Oh God! Imagine imagine if Ricky Gervais's character in Afterlife went there. Oh my God! Hilarity.
Yeah.
Oh, the hilarity! He'd be calling everyone a cunt. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
No, it was quite nice. We actually had we had a great Vietnamese meal on Friday. I posted a picture of it. Oh, it was a local. This was a local one. Oh, baby! It was very, very nice. Absolutely tremendous. We've been waiting to go there for a while, so we went and lovely little restaurant, like six tables in there, very small, but absolute banging pho and rice bowls. So good week all in all.
So speaking of the football, Joe, there's a final on Wednesday.
This is the relegation playoff, is it?
Which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah.
I think it's the most unpredictable football match. Certainly football final in a very, very long time. It is 16th place in the Premier League, Manchester United, against 17th place in the Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur, for a trophy, but more importantly, for a spot in next season's Champions League, but more importantly, a big bag of money. So I obviously attended last year's Europa League final. If I won the year, damn it.
Yeah.
And were United in the Europa League final a year or two before as well.
That's
Sevilla.
23, is it?
I keep missing every time United get to go. I did see the Atalanta Leverkusen final last year, which is very fun. But very much looking forward to this final. I'm hoping the stars are aligning for us. I mean, Spurs players seems to be dropping like flies with injuries. No Maddison, no Kulusevski, which will be all the more embarrassing when they hammer us.
When we get battered.
As could happen. This is the thing. I feel like this is a match. We talk about Dynamite. How great it is to get a match where there's a bit of unpredictability and either person can win.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a match that either team could win like 5-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a match I'd be putting any money on. The pessimist in me, Joe, would probably lean towards Tottenham slightly.
So.
But United, again, the only team unbeaten in Europe this season, somehow.
Oh, somehow, yeah. I think
and
a bit of luck there.
A bit of luck. But Tottenham are also, of all the English teams we could play, are, I guess, the team with the most European style in terms of they play with a very, very high line. Now, they have beaten us 3 times this season, that notwithstanding. I wonder if, when people talk about United's Europa League form, they'll say, but Spurs are an English team. It's like, well, I'd rather play Spurs with the way they play in Europe than Chelsea or Arsenal or teams that play, really block you out of their half.
Yeah.
But this one, I see it being a very end-to-end kind of game.
Yeah. I think we'll lose. That's my prediction. I know that's pessimistic, but I think we never win. We lose every week. I don't remember the last time we won.
It was in Europe. We beat
against English teams. When was the last time we beat Ipswich or Southampton? Probably.
Yeah. And Spurs are only one place above Ipswich.
I know. Spurs are like, I know they're also shit, but we can't beat Premier League teams. We can beat Championship teams, which the bottom 3 are. And we can beat European teams because they're not as good as even the Championship teams. But we can't beat Premier League teams. And technically, just about Spurs are a Premier League team.
I mean, I was talking to my cousin today about it and saying it's so mad for how bad of a season it's been for Manchester United, for Manchester United fans, that Tottenham are below us in the table. Like, what are they doing? But I mean, I think it'll be an exciting game. I mean, I don't think we're staring down the barrel of a 0-0 draw, for better or worse.
No, that mean us keeping a clean sheet, which is it possible? So yeah, kind of looking forward to it, but not.
You could look forward to it with the morbid curiosity of kind of an impending car accident or something.
Yeah,
that'll be interesting to look at least.
That'll be interesting to hear. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I think, look, I'll be wearing the jersey. I'll be standing up whenever we get a corner to will it into the goal. And so hopefully with those forces at play, United might yet come home with a trophy that, fingers crossed, although I do feel like being in the Champions League next year might be a bit of a poison chalice. I would rather drink that poison than lose this final and live through whatever the alternative is. So we will see. So yeah. Where do you want to start then with the news for this week?
Well, I mean, how do we talk about anything other than The Rock showing up on Collision? I mean, that's there was so many people talking about that when I woke up this morning. I was so fucking confused because everyone was making the same joke, and I could tell it was a joke. I was like, what happened? But yeah, it seems like they had some technical issues on on the broadcast and also then on the VOD as well, which is very odd considering this was a tape show. Collision wasn't live this week, but they cut it off early. I think in the middle of the Mongo tribute, which is extra embarrassing.
Oh god!
Of all things, to play Black Adam, because TNT, for those of you who don't know, those who aren't in America, TNT is one of these what are they called? Television networks, where they have one show. And then the entire rest of their schedule is repeats of either of one of 6 films or one of 6 sitcoms.
Star Wars.
So it's like you turn on TBS just before Dynamite starts, and then it's the final minutes of Force Awakens, and then they fade to black on Dynamite, and then it's Force Awakens again. Brilliant. It's so good. I had to watch it twice. So because I love looking at schedules of American TV stations that host wrestling. And
they've totally given up.
That it really goes to show, if you're wondering how wrestling isn't that, how is wrestling getting so much in rights fees? Because they're just desperate for anything that looks kind of like sports and is live. Because they got nothing, baby. But yeah, that was funny. I think the West Coast feed was fine, and then they put it up on video. But it was very amusing. Yeah. No actual Rock news this week, sadly. No funny interviews. No scandal. We did have the first ever television taping in Dublin. The tickets went on sale this week for just absolutely hilarious prices. I saw flying around. Paul, were you looking? What was your situation with it?
No. Fuck no. I was, like yourself, just an interested bystander. Very funny Facebook threads of, hey, picked up 2 tickets for me and the kid, $1,000. I mean, I think I said in the Discord, it's funny that they finally come and have a TV taping in Dublin after all these years, when number one, the ticket prices are through the roof, and number two, it's generally accepted that SmackDown is a big pile of shit these days.
Yeah.
No one, even WWE fans themselves, don't really enjoy. But, you know, again, the novelty of WWE coming to town, I was curious whether the prices would combat that kind of family show nostalgia. You know what I mean? Where certainly the WWE house show audience, when I used to go between like 2004 to 2009, I went to every house show when they came, every single time. And the vibe you got from the crowd was very much casuals. It was families. It was parents, or like lapsed fan parents, or parents who didn't give a shite but went with the kid who was a fan. So I was curious how that was going to come into play with tickets of €250 and above. Seems like they sold like hotcakes.
It's the pre-sale, it was almost sold out. Like the allotment of pre-sale tickets, the only ones left were the absolutely extortionate, like premium, fucking, you know, insane ones. And then when the general started, I don't know if it's so fully sold out, but similarly, I think it's the absolute piss take tickets are left. But they've done it. And my experience, my one experience at one of their house shows was the same as yours. I mean, John Cena came out, and me and my loser friends, we wanted to get the Let's Go Cena sucks. There was no like back and forth. It was like 6 losers doing Cena sucks. It was the entire building loved John Cena. It was mostly kids and families. I mean, it was, and you know, and that's why like the sellers outside probably make a killing when wrestling comes, because they go, Rey Mysterio masks, because it is all kids who go, yeah. Understood. So yeah, it was. It seems like a lot of them would scoff at those prices, but also it's just kind of like they're also the ones, I would argue, that have to suck it up the most and just do it, because it's like when the kids want these things. It's the same with like, there's now all this social pressure to like be at whatever your hobby of choice is, whether it's going to a Taylor Swift gig or whatever. Kids feel immense pressure to simply fucking be there. So there's the family audiences that probably would have gone for a bit of a laugh back in the day. Now it's like, oh my god, my kid has to go to SmackDown. Yeah. But yeah, craziness. I mean, the money was just absolutely insane.
I mean, impromptu quiz for Joe here. There is a ticket package here, Joe. It's the Champion Plus ticket plus Priority Pass, right? So you get premium front row seating, all-inclusive pre-show hospitality with private meet-greet with Sheamus and WWE superstars, exclusive autograph session with Sheamus and WWE superstars. I would imagine that would just be the same thing. I don't know why they've written it as 2 separate things.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
And priority access to merch stand, so you get extra access to spend even more money. Yeah.
Not even so much as a free fucking t-shirt or a free Funko Pop landfill piece of shite. No, you can buy one earlier than everyone else.
So yeah, front row seating,
front row
meet and greet with Sheamus and some WWE superstars, which would be like fucking Berto and Grayson Waller, and then a merch stand access. How much do you reckon that would cost you in Great British pounds?
Was it $1,000?
Keep going. Up.
You wish, mate. You wish a fucking grand. I'm pretty sure just the front row was $1,000 on its own.
1,500.
Correct.
Oh,
done. Very good.
€1,750. So it's just under £1,500. I would want to be wrestling Sheamus myself for that.
Hold on, Shamo, come on. I've watched plenty of shows. I know what I'm doing right. Like, listen, brother, you get the heat on me. I'm pretty over in the VIP section, all right? So
I want him giving me a lift from your house for that money. They'll pick me up.
Spin by the offie on the way home, pal, could you? Because
McDonald's drive-through. Go on, Shamo.
It would be so great if they had on there like a critique of WWE superstars. You know, brother, your work punches were looking a bit stiff ski, brother.
Just doing the Triple H. You saw, too fucking bad. The tough enough, the tough enough fucking. Oh, I would see. What I'd love is for that price, I'd want to see Triple H. I'd want to be just like, I would be a fly on the wall in his just very stressful writing experience. You know, he's in there like me revising for the leaving. So he's like, oh God, just notes everywhere, Post-its all over the place. But yeah, absolutely insane. If you got tickets, let us know and how much
enjoy the show. I mean, honestly, enjoy it. But
3's a nice little building, you know.
Like I went to 2 all-ins. Plus flights, accommodation, etc., for what you get for one of these SmackDown tickets, basically.
I think I'm just thinking there, like that the first all in paid a decent amount for not we weren't on the floor, but we wanted like like I'm trying to think, I could have nearly done that all in trip twice, so it would have been about 2. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, that's in August, I believe it is. I'm not sure, but yeah, it'll be a fun day out if you are so inclined. Just before we went live here, we did get the news that Darby Allin reached the summit of Mount Everest. So I feel like he left fucking ages ago. It must be really big. I think it sounds hard.
Me and Joe boast about our steps.
Yeah,
he's doing it up. Let alone just...
Yeah, imagine he posts an Instagram story, one of those things people do after they go for a little jog, but it's just like a vertical line up. It's just like...
Although it won't take him as long to get back because he'll just cough and drop off.
I was just about to say, yeah, they've got like a bunch of indie wrestlers doing that shitty, we're fake fighting outside the ring or something gets ready to do a dive. It's just like Janela and Private Party doing really shit punches to each other.
Darby comes out of the sky.
So well done, yeah. Now he has to come back and do the real Mount Everest, which is winning the World Championship, boys. We'll see. So yeah, so there you go. That's a big one off his list. I feel like it is one of those things though where people say it's like coming down is also very hard.
No
like toboggan ride down, sadly. Elsewhere in the wrestling news, we also got the news earlier this week that good old JR, who hasn't been on TV very much lately, he announced his colon cancer diagnosis, which is awful news, obviously. Yeah. I mean, someone who has just never been able to catch a break when it comes to his health. I mean, he has just had so many woes, and this is his latest. So hopefully he beats it, and he's back fighting fit soon. I mean, he has just had everything thrown at him physically over his career, and you know what? To be fair, he's never really let it stop him. So. Yeah. Well wishes to JR.
I'll tell you what, if he's able to come back and call more matches, I promise I won't complain about how bad it is. I'll say well done, son.
We'll be glad to see him. We'll be glad to see him.
Well done, brilliant. I know you called him the wrong names, but like, don't worry about it.
Well, we are very cynical, about Jim, but I mean, yeah, he's one of the greatest commentators.
One of the greatest commentators ever. Yeah. We'll go with that hot take. I'm going to say he's actually one of the best ever. Yeah, we'll go there. And wrapping up the the news from the week, we'll jump ahead to TV guff here very briefly. So MIna Shirakawa, AEW superstar MIna Shirakawa now. She's signed. She's full time. She was on Dynamite this week. She came out to some NXT ass fucking
bollocks.
Oh, it's me, MIna. Like some shitty kind of, you have to have a soundbite of the person saying their name and their catchphrase at the beginning of the song. Where was the fake Pitbull? Where was the legally distinct karaoke Pitbull song? And so she comes out. Nobody reacts to it, even though it's MIna Shirakawa. Everyone should be very excited to see MIna Shirakawa.
She was dancing like,
and she a move. She can move. We know that.
She was doing her best.
She was doing her best to make this song seem good. So it was absolutely awful. I don't know what they were thinking with this. But it was so bad, and Tony Khan was tweeting about it during her match, that in the time it took her to get down the ramp, have the match, and win, he switched the song back, which has to be one of the funnier news stories of the year. I respect his proactiveness, to be honest. Like, all right, look, that's shit. I you know what? Earlier, when you said, Mr. Khan, do you want to hear the song? And I said, no need, pals. I trust you on that. I was wrong to do that. Yeah, so that was funny. So he switched back and he was tweeting about how bad it was. Hoping it hurt anyone's feelings.
Well, there was some talk then later in the week. Number one, also Mikey Ruckus also went hands off. This has nothing to do with me. I wasn't involved.
Nothing to do with me, bro.
And then apparently,
Wonder who it was.
There was someone on I saw on Reddit claiming that they had come up with the song. I saw someone saying that it was the same people who did Mercedes music when she left WWE before she got her current CEO theme song, that in between song, and that apparently AEW had modified it somehow and not used it with permission. There was some rights issue.
I read the thread someone had posted. It wasn't on a wrestling thread. It was on a copyright or
legal
advice thread. And they were like, I think, a wrestling company has used my song without permission. But what they said was they had worked with a third party and to create songs, but they had basically taken the song, repurposed it, and then they've sold it on to AEW as if they owned the copyright, and this person claimed they hadn't. So
interesting.
It wasn't necessarily AEW breaking copyright, but the agency that provided it maybe not doing that. But be honest, if you'd made that song, keep quiet about it.
My friend made this song, and he's having a copyright issue. Well, it's funny, and I just imagine that went to court, and they played the song on international television without my blessing, and Exhibit D, the promoter, then tweeted about how shit it was, and how sorry he was. The funny thing is, probably wouldn't cost them very much, but they might actually have to pay for that. Because that original one, I think she had in Stardom. So presumably their people composed it, or it's from a library or something that they were, using with permission when she was doing appearances. But I mean, I can't imagine it's too much to buy. But yeah, that was very funny.
Or if they wanted to do their own in-house rip-off version, that sounds better than what we heard the last day.
Yeah, I fucking hate the sound bite at the beginning of a song. That is a WWE trope I hate. Anyway, we will a full Dynamite review shortly. Before that, though, jump to our little.
I have one more news item.
Go on.
Actually, there's two news items. So number one, I for the first time in 30 years, I signed up to my little library. There's my library card.
Very good.
I was just passing by one day and I thought, it's free. It's a free communal service. For the community. Why not avail of it? Signed up, went in. Do you know what it's like? It's like going to your old video rental shop. Because they have like loads of movies and loads of box sets and stuff you can just have. Yeah. They had like as recently as like Challengers. They had Challengers on DVD.
Nice.
So it's not all like old shit. But yeah, just to remind, shout out for people there. If you're not availing of such, services that your tax money is going towards, go sign up to your local library. Great selection of books, great selection of films and TV box sets. They had the entire series of The Americans, which is a show that I've had recommended to me and never checked out. So nice. I'm thinking a lot of TV shows I'm watching currently are going to naturally all finish their season in about a week. All for 4 shows, I think, within a week, all from each other.
Yeah.
So I might pop over to the library and take out a box set, watch something there. And then as I was walking back from the library, I was wearing one of my Manchester United jerseys, and a fella in a car passing by shouted, Man United are shit.
I know.
Which number one, I know. I'm well aware.
Watch them every week.
Number 2, so is your mother's fat arse. But like, just like a guy passing in a car, like pay attention to the road first of all. Looking at me, Sarah, shouts many.
I can't pay attention. This is that shit football team. It's distracted me. That happens for you this week. Oh, and then he saw you buy it in AEW action figure. He said, "That's not real wrestling." He drove back. He did a U-turn.
It's fake.
It's fake, by the way. Do you know that? Alrighty. What's the Fantasy League update this week?
Fantasy League update is that Barry is stormed into the lead.
Barry.
Let me just count here across collision timeout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different wrestlers all winning, all on 4 points.
Let's fucking go, boys. Colliders
So
unite.
Barry's also passed the 100 point mark, or 100 match mark. He's on 100 matches now. I'm only at 96. But Barry's ahead. Barry is now ahead. And I'm looking, as I said, I'm still looking at maybe doing a trade, kind of irrespective of injury. I nearly feel like I need to pull Jay White out, because I'm thinking Jay White, injury or not, has not really.
He's not going to be a big earner.
Been set in the world of light. Now, one thing that I've noticed in looking at this file is, in terms of looking at the undrafted people, rather than looking at total points, what I'm looking at is points per match, and that's where you see that you have your like Samoa Joe has had 11 matches. He's pulled in 4.5 points per match, which is more than every other wrestler on my team apart from Tony Storm and Bobby Lashley. So that's where you're seeing the real value as opposed to the total points. One other thing I wanted to bring up in terms of the fantasy is I'm going to give underachiever of the year so far, Swerve Strickland, has got fewer points this year. We are approaching, we're 4.5 months into this 12-year program. Like, Swerve Strickland has fewer points than like Shibata. Wheeler Yuta has more points than Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland, Joe, you were talking last week about your dissatisfaction with Claudio Castagnoli this year.
Yeah.
Claudio and Swerve are actually doing very similarly in terms of points per match, but Claudio wrestles more than Swerve does.
Yeah.
So Swerve's like a less good Claudio so far. Very dissatisfied with Swerve's output, to be honest. Jay White, I don't know. And the other thing I'm looking towards is this Anarchy in the Arena match that's going to have Joe, it's going to have Powerhouse. I'm trying to predict. Okay, if I can bring in someone.
Powerhouse.
Yeah, but they haven't actually named the teams, have they?
Not officially. And then also the thing to keep in mind is, for that match, because it's a multi-man match, it's half points.
Right.
So actually, the fact that the pay-per-view is doubling the points brings it up to like standard points, really.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. I'm trying to predict. I think Dax and Cash, I know we're going to talk about the TV soon, but I think Dax and Cash are pretty much nailed on to win their match at the pay-per-view as well. So I wonder if now is the time to bring one of them in, and maybe they'll get a tag team run shortly enough. Cash has actually got a decent points per match as well. He's actually, he doesn't. He's actually worse than Swerve Strickland. Okay, never mind. I don't know. I do think there's still value in there, but double or nothing. Yeah, I need to look at that card and figure out if there's a spot for bringing in someone and getting maybe a sneaky 8 points somewhere. Anyway, that's it.
Just got back on top, lads.
John Moxley has jumped Mercedes Moné into the top 10, by the way, by virtue of his title defense. Dynamite.
Interesting.
What are the features we got, boys?
We got a quiz.
Quiz time.
It's the return of the original concept, Gimme 5. So this is where I ask both Paul and Barry to name 5 answers in a particular category. The only wrinkle being that one of them goes first and names 5, and then the other one has to name another 5. So obviously whoever goes first gets the advantage of being able to choose the easier answers.
Yeah.
So how the scoring works, if you give me 5 answers and you're the first person to go, you get 1 point per answer plus a bonus 5 if you can get all 5. The second person to go gets 2 points per answer, plus a bonus 5 if they get all 5. We do that 4 times with the guys taking turns of who goes first. And then whoever's losing after 4 gets to pick whether they go first or second in the final and decisive round. So they have to weigh up. Should I go for the easier answers or should I go for more points? So
this might be our quiz that has actually has like the best thought out rules
to try and make it balanced.
But it's actually like really well worked out.
So I was basically trying to think of like good ideas for a TV quiz. Then I was like, well, let me make it into a speak quiz.
Yeah, it really works. Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go first. I forgot to bring in the Paddington coin, so we're going to go with the backup, which is the Aquarius badge with a little cat on it.
Nice.
So, Paul, you can call. Do you want the cat or do you want the spiky pin bit?
I'll take a cat all day.
Okay, you want the cat? No, spiky pin bit.
Well, let's go.
So, so Barry, do you want to go first or second on the first?
I'll go first.
You'll go first. Okay. Hopefully this one's going to be less contentious than the last one because with the dates and everything.
Oh, with the locations.
I picked more clear-cut sort of answers for this one.
What street in New York do you mean?
The first category then is AEW female singles champions. So any woman that has held his singles title in AEW.
Okay.
So Barry, would you like to go first? You can give me your 5 answers to 10 points.
Okay. Let me go with Riho.
That is correct. She was the original world champion.
Let me go Nyla Rose.
Another AEW world champion, correct.
Hikaru Shida.
Multiple-time world champion. That's 3 for Barry.
Let me go Brittany Baker.
Britt Baker, another world champion. That's 4. Can you get 5?
Let me go Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa is correct. Another world champion. Barry, give me 5.
Let's go.
That's a big 10 points there for the B-Man. Over to you, Paul. Can you give me another 5?
5 AEW women's single title holders.
Yeah, any women that's held one of the singles titles.
I was just typing out Barry's 5 there, by the way. Okay. We'll go for Big Tone. Storm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tony Khan would have been wrong.
That's 1 point.
I always when I'm watching Dynamite, I always refer to as Big Tone for whatever reason. Here comes Big Tone.
Here's Big Tone.
Yeah.
He's the real Big Tone.
He's known for that.
Okay, Tony Storm, Saraya.
Correct. 4 points.
We'll say Mercedes Monet.
Correct. 6 points.
We'll say Statlander.
Chris Statlander, TBS champion.
Yeah. And we will say Willow.
Willow Nightingale, also TBS champion. That's a perfect 5. So that's 15 points for you, Paul. Remaining answers were Jamie Hayter, former world champion.
Of course. Yeah.
Mariah May, former world champion.
Mm-hmm.
Julia Hart, TBS champion. And
Jade
Cargill, original TBS champion.
Of course.
Okay, so we'll move on to the second category. And Paul, you'll be going first on this one. Yeah. So this category is AEW Revolution main eventers. So I want you to tell me anyone that has appeared in the main event of AEW Revolution pay-per-view.
Okay. I will say Sting.
That's correct.
Darby Allin.
Correct.
Matthew Jackson.
Also correct.
Nicholas Jackson.
Oh, he's got 4 for 4. Paul, can you give me 5?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to think of other Revolution main events. I will say MJF.
That is correct. Heavy points there for Paul.
Alrighty.
Barry, can you give me 5 more for 15 points?
Okay. Let me go John Moxley.
That is correct.
Let me go Chris Jericho.
Correct.
Let me go Bryan Danielson.
Also correct. That's 3 for 3.
Let me go Hanger Adam Panger.
Hadar Angman Paja. That's 4.
And let
give
me
one
go
more.
the other Adam. Let me go Mr. Cole.
That is correct. Very good, Barry. You're flying so far, you two. That's 4 points so far. The ones you missed were Kenny Omega, Adam Copeland, the artist formerly known as the Rated R Superstar Edge.
The most recent one, yeah.
And I might have just about accepted Christian Cage as well, because he, of course,
Technically.
Yeah, technically, yeah.
he was in the main event, although normally I don't like to include that. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so on to the third category. Barry will be going first.
Okay.
So please give me 5 Brock Lesnar WrestleMania opponents.
Okay. Kurt Angle.
That's correct.
William Goldberg.
That's correct.
Triple H.
Correct. That's 3 for 3.
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker. That's correct for 4.
And Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. That's 5. So it's a big 10 points there. Very lad. Over to you, Paul. Can you give me 5 more Brock Lesnar WrestleMania opponents?
Barry has listed a lot of the ones that I know.
He's most of the good ones.
Yeah. We'll say Seth Rollins.
That is correct. That's 2 points.
You like accepting those ones. Ambrose.
That is correct.
Notoriously
4
bad
points.
match. Drew.
That is correct. 6 points. 2
Drew.
more.
Drew McIntyre. Who else did he wrestle? He wrestled Roman a bunch. Brock. Let me think. 2003. Kurt's gone, and 2004 Goldberg's gone. So it'll all be his recent run then. Let me just check who Barry said again.
I can give you
Angle Goldberg. I have it here. Angle.
Oh,
Sorry, I don't have it because I've written Goldberg twice for some reason. I have Angle, Goldberg, Undertaker, Reigns. Who else did Barry say?
So far we've had Kurt Angle, Triple H, The Undertaker,
Triple H.
Dean Ambrose, Goldberg, Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns, and the Mr. Monday Night freaking Seth Rollins.
Right.
So I need 2 more from you, Paul. That's the question.
That is the question. I don't know. I'm trying to remember because I've watched all these WrestleManias, of course. Who else is Brock Lesnar wrestling WrestleMania? So
I've got all the good ones. I don't.
Yeah, I've said Drew, Seth Rollins, and Ambrose.
See, I just realized I fucked this up. Oh, fucking hell. So one of these is wrong. How can we fix this? I'll tell you what, I'll give you, if you can get all 4, I'll give you the 4 points. Because I miscounted one of them. So it's actually only 9.
There's 9.
He's not a repeat. He's not a repeat.
Yeah, well, let's say number 4 is Roman Reigns again. Even though I think they've had 3 matches.
No, it's opponents. It's opponents, not matches.
No,
I know,
yeah,
I know.
opponents. Oh, okay, so that's incorrect. Correct, you already had it. You can have one more guess.
Brock. Who would Brock wrestle? Okay, let me think. It's all in the most recent run, so come in after WrestleMania. It must be recent. Who's his last match at WrestleMania against? He wasn't on this year's one, obviously. Oh, he wrestled Omos. He wrestled
Omos.
like 3 years ago. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct, Paul. And because I fucked up, I'm going to give you the full points for that one. So where I went wrong, I read he wrestled Austin Theory, but that was a
Saudi
road to WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
But I read it as WrestleMania.
Honestly, remembering Omos, I'm happy for him to get 5 points for that. Or
Yeah,
full
that's
points
fair
for
enough. That was fair enough, right?
I remember because everybody was
fourth.
upset that they were wasting the Lesnar match on Omos.
Yeah. Oh, we could have had. Could have had. Category number 4. So, Paul, you'll be going first this time. European cities to have hosted a WWE pay-per-view /PLE. And I'm not including NXT takeovers or NXT UK. So just main brand WWE.
European cities
European
that have
cities.
hosted.
Yes. A pay-per-view or PLE.
Berlin.
Correct. 1 point.
London.
London.
Yeah.
It's, 2.
Cardiff.
Is correct. That's 3.
God, cities. Where did they have the one in France? Because I want to say it wasn't in Paris. Oh God, what's it in like fucking Lyon or somewhere? Let me keep that in the back pocket for the time being. Pay-per-views. Where was some of the earlier like rebellions and so on have been?
You've got London, Cardiff, Berlin so far.
Yeah. And then the other Clash in the Castle was in Scotland, but where was that? Because again, I want to say it wasn't Glasgow; it was like Edinburgh or somewhere. God, I wish I paid more attention to this stuff. Well, what I'm thinking of is like your insurrections and your rebellions and stuff like that. I want to say that some of them might have been in like Birmingham or Nottingham, maybe Manchester. Capital Carnage is out. Like, where would they have been?
I'm gonna push it, Paul.
You're gonna push me. Okay, I will say.
Where's that?
Okay, I'll go for Lyon in France.
Lyon in France.
Lyon. No good.
That is correct.
Lyon,
Yes.
Okay, and I'll go
that
for
was Backlash 2024.
yeah, the really good crowd. I want to say it wasn't in Paris. I thought it might have been Lyon. And then I'll say Edinburgh.
That is incorrect. So you've given me 4 correct answers, no bonus points. That's just a 4 points for you there.
Okay.
It's so close. Barry, can you give me 5 European cities that have hosted it at a European?
Refresh me on polls there.
He said London, Cardiff, Lyon, and Berlin correctly, and then he incorrectly guessed Edinburgh.
Okay. Can I say no, actually, no, I'm not going to say that because that's wrong. That was a TV show. Can I say Manchester?
That is correct. 2 points.
Can I say Glasgow?
That is correct for 4 points. That was Clash in the Castle.
Yeah.
Glasgow. Shit.
Can I say Birmingham?
Do you want to do a Birmingham accent?
No, just that non-specific one I was doing.
Oh, okay. That's Scouse. We'll stick with that one. 6 points.
Okay. What's I'm doing Scouse anyway? Let me go Liverpool. I don't know what that was at the end, but I'm going Liverpool.
That is incorrect.
Damn.
No Liverpool pay-per-views. But one more guess.
Okay. Fuck. Okay, I'm thinking some other fucking countries. No Irish ones, obviously. No, nothing from Belfast either. What are some other countries in Europe? Germany, we've done Berlin, Lyon, Madrid.
Nah, that's incorrect.
Damn.
No, so you finished with a big 6 points there, Barry. We were missing. What were we missing? Oh God, I can't remember.
I nearly said Milan, but that was a TV show.
TV taping. We had Rebellion was in Sheffield. Sheffield, and Insurrection in Newcastle as well.
That's what I was going for. Some of the smaller ones. I was like, surely some of those have been in.
I can't find the other one, but yeah, I think that was it. But yeah, it was mainly the older kind of Insurrection and Rebellion ones. Very good. So let's tot up the scores going into the final round. It is Barry on 41 points and Paul on 44 points. So Barry, you get to choose. Would you like to go first or second?
I think I got to go first.
Okay, so Barry is going to go first. And the final category is Logan Paul singles match opponents.
Okay.
So this is people that Logan Paul has wrestled in WWE in either singles matches or triple threat matches. So I'm not counting Royal Rumble,
tags or rumbles,
tags or Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank type matches.
Okay.
So just one-on-ones or triple threats.
Okay. AJ Styles.
That is correct. 1 point.
Roman Reigns.
That is correct. 2 points.
Oh God, I'm drawing a blank on these. Ricochet.
That is correct for 3 points.
Rey Mysterio.
Do I have that on?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if that's what. Let me just double check. No, I think that is correct.
Okay.
I'm just going to double check, but I'm pretty sure. I think I forgot to put it on my list. It's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. I have no idea for this last one. I'll take a stab. Rollins.
That is also correct.
Oh,
that is 5 from 5. So Barry, you've got a big 10 points there. So let's just check. So you're on 51. Paul is on 44. So I need 4 correct answers to win. PG.
Okay. So when just to clarify, when we're saying singles matches, would that count like a triple threat match or a multi-man match as opposed to a tag match? That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, no tag matches. So just either a one-on-one or a triple threat.
Or
so not money in.
No Money in the Bank match. Or you said Royal Rumble.
No. Yeah. Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble. None of the big.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify because Elimination Chamber I would have got enough in there.
Yeah, because there's like loads. So that.
Yeah.
So one of us
five in that match alone. Yeah. Okay. Cody Rhodes.
That is correct. That's 2 points.
So let me just see, who did Barry say? AJ, Roman, Ricochet, Mysterio, Rollins. The Miz.
Correct.
Remember they tried to turn him babyface for a minute and it did not work. Logan Paul, Kevin Owens.
Correct. That is 6 points. One more answer.
Do I know one?
Sweep to victory.
Do I know one more is a question. Oh, I do. LA Knight.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Classic US title there.
And
so Paul.
Well, I can still go get the full.
So you got one more. You've won. You can really rub it in his face with a...
Let me see if I can get who Logan Paul would have wrestled. Sami Zayn.
No, that is incorrect. But you win anyway, Paul. 52 points to 51. Edging it. Very, very, very close. The two missing answers, Randy Orton. We didn't have Randy Orton. And the other one was Santos Escobar. We wrestled in a three-way
main event.
Yeah. I think we remember that one. So well done, lads. Well done. Very, very good.
That was a competitive game.
Very, very good. Very close again.
Paul just edged it there, but respect. Let's jump over to the telly for the week, the wrestling telly. Another good week for Dynamite. I would say maybe a smidge below the recent output, but still, still good. Still good. AWU don't appear to have posted results for this week's television. Amateur hour. Let me just Google it real quickly here. Dynamite. And it would have been the 14th of May. Oh, pathetic. Small time. Small fry. Oh, it comes up on Google, but it's not on your results page. All right, lads. Come on, get it together. Kicked off with the Can They Coexist Classic. We got Ospreay and Hangman versus Takeshita and Alexander. They did a little bit of the, you bloody tagging me, mate. You fucking... I did they did a little bit of a twist on it where like Hangman blind tagged Ospreay, and then he was like explaining, yes, because we just do it together, and Ospreay was just too annoyed at the fact that he was tagged to do it. I feel like these matches are kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because I feel like they're having a good match and then they disagree and they bonk heads and that's how they lose to set up their match. I feel like that's trite and boring and stupid. But then also I don't like the two singles baby faces beating the team either. They went with that one. It's not a big deal. It's the Don Callis family, but
I mean, Alexander and Takeshita aren't this like long tenured tag team either.
No, they're not. That's true. Yeah. That's true. And Alexander is fresh in, and he's taking his losses at the moment. So fair enough. They did a sick kind of a hidden blade buckshot lariat combo to win,
which was timed extremely well, by the way.
Yes, they nailed it. Yeah. So maybe along with Swerve, maybe this is another tag team they might come back to with Hangman down the line. So yeah, it was good fun. And they didn't overdo the melodrama. We got Ricochet versus Zach Gowen, which is like such a Fire Pro random match. This was good fun. Gowen obviously still able to do a lot of the spots you'd remember him for. Ricochet, obviously, look, we sang his praises, and he's on this great run, and he was getting in Gowen's family's face at ringside, and being a dickhead. But they did a good near fall where Gowen hit him with the leg at one point for a near fall. Ricochet won, of course. Go on.
I love the little details here, where it's like Gowen came out on crutches at the start.
Yeah,
because Ricochet still had his leg, so I guess Ricochet just had it all week. I guess we should have got a vignette of him like drinking champagne out of it.
Oh yeah, being a dick.
yeah.
So Ricochet did win, even though he was being a dick who stole the leg. They weren't going to have Gowen beat him. No. Put a beat down on him afterwards, and out came Mark Briscoe for the save. So there you go.
And they're having a stretcher match at the pay-per-view.
Are they? Wow. Yeah. Stretcher match is one of those things that whenever they do it in WWE, it's like rubbish, but maybe AEW will do a good version of it. It's one of those match types that to me, it's too gamified for me. It's like
right.
The finish they always do in WWE is one guy is like dead, he's on the cusp of going over the line, but then he gets one last breath, he pulls the other guy onto the stretcher and just gets him over. It's like, I don't like that fucking steal a goal finishes. But I mean, Mark Briscoe and Ricochet will have a great match, and I'm sure they'll work as smarter than that.
Yeah.
We got a backstage thing with MJF. We got after being jabronied last week, Top Flight were getting their shot at Hurt Syndicate this week. Hurt's getting it just flopped them around like a pair of locals. I mean, I don't know what's going on here, but they have like less than no interest in doing anything with Top Flight, it would appear. So what the finish here was the Hurt Lock. Lashley put him on the Hurt Lock. Kept it on after the match. It required old man Dustin coming out and saying, all right, stop kicking the shit out of us, lad. Stop embarrassing these dweebs. But it's funny. It's just like, yeah, they ragged all Top Flight around. And then the match they set up afterwards is Sammy and Dustin and Crew coming out to basically establish like doing some kind of I was going to say a multi-man, but they just had a number one contenders match, didn't they, on Collision?
Yeah, on Collision. Yeah.
And it's like I think Sammy and Dustin's an alright team. I think Crew are, they're an alright team. It's just mad that they're just casting Top Flight aside so much, but there you go. Dustin was good here. I like Dustin in this role.
Yeah. It definitely seems like, aside from the Hurt Syndicate and then teams like FTR and Young Bucks who aren't involved in the tag division really at all, it feels like Tony Storm and Mariah May when the other one was out and they were just spinning the wheels to wait for the next one to come in. Like, just geek team after geek team for Hurt Syndicate here. None of them built up at all. None of them any credibility whatsoever.
It does feel like this is actually, now that I think about it, this is like a recurring issue in AEW's history, a recurring trope. We've talked about it with like the women's division before. They're very bad for when an act catches fire. Said act is like off in its own little universe. Like FTR is one of the best things in the company right now, but like they don't want to take the titles off the Hurt Syndicate off them, or they just don't want, they're both healed. So it feels like they're off in their own weird little universe. It's like you're watching this segment and you're like, Crew and the lads from ROH, why aren't like FTR, who are this dominant tag team who are getting loads of screen time and are super over, why are they not involved? It's like, well, AEW has always done that kind of annoying thing where if an act is hot, it's hot already, so it doesn't need a title. Therefore, there's like this weird logic gap in the division where the inexplicably hot act is not involved. It's the same as kind of like, even though it should hypothetically be the same division, like people in the TBS title mix are never really mixing it up with people in the women's world mix, unless they're jabronis. Like the jabroni tier could job to either division, but it was always kind of like separate. It's odd. It's odd, and I do think, this tag division's crying out. The title scene is crying out for like someone hot like FTR to be in there and not like off doing their own cool little thing,
They did have on Collision Paragon and the Grizzled Young Vets. Like there are two teams right there that you could be doing something with, get the bit of credibility behind. But ultimately what'll happen is the O'Reilly and Strong will beat the Grizzled Young Vets. And then, get to a certain point and probably not win the belts. I don't know.
They'll lose the Grizzled Young Vets phone number again.
I still don't understand that at all. But
yeah, I don't get that. With the issues we've discussed over the last 6 months, a team who'd be doing great stuff. Anyway. We got, in classic wrestling, laying it on so thick you knew the opposite was happening. MJF was dodging the Hurt Syndicate all night, so you knew exactly where this was going. So MVP stays in the ring after that whole segment, and he calls out MJF, and his music's playing, he's not coming out. And then they go backstage, and he's in the gorilla position with a very funny looking Tony Khan. Great thumbnail face there for everyone to use for the next 2 years. And he's doing the old guild. Oh, geez, I was just coming to see him on tell. Oh, this is old Maxwell's in for it now. And you're just like, all right, this is so obvious he's getting in. It's so fucking obvious he's getting in. And they do the big long segment with the throw. He's the throw good up. Oh, I don't know what's going on. It was so fucking long. It did loop around to being amusingly shit because it was so over the top. So we did talk last week is will the turn happen here or will they entertain the idea that he's in the group for a little while? I don't quite know because next week they're doing an official contract signing, so that could be the place where MJF's like, you made me jump through all these hoops, fuck you, I got someone else, and then he kills them. Or they could, as I was saying last week, they could do the thing where for 1 or 2 pay-per-view cycles he does the uneasy alliance where he's he's with them, but he's being MJF about it, and Bobby's like, I told you, you know. They had a segment later on this show where he was getting Smart Mark Sterling, another guy who I guess they found his number in the same book they kept the Liverpool lads' number in. He came back and he was like, oh, we got to look over this contract, MJF, and MVP's like, hey, wait, let's go. Come on, not the lawyer, come on. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Another 4-way eliminator match: Toni Storm, Azumi, MIna Shirakawa with the whole music shenanigans, and the returning Sky Blue of Chicago. They were in Chicago, by the way, another fun venue. Not one of their cooler venues last while, but another good one.
Yeah.
Sky Blue looked good on her return, I thought. Seemed very put together, seemed very confident. Not you'd always, because she had like that horrible, like a broken fibula, like her leg was like shattered when she left. Yeah, he's worried when they come back from that, the old tentativeness, the old, you know, doubt in yourself. I thought she looked pretty good back there. Hadn't missed a step. And Azumi and MIna Shirakawa were good. They did highlight that Azumi beat Shirakawa in a 3-way for Monet's New Japan belt, which I thought was, you know, I'm glad they brought that up. Keep that sort of a consistent logic going, you know. And yeah, they did a good little 4-way match, you know, the usual 2 in, 2 out, most of it, blah blah. The finish here was that MIna, who did she pin? She got
she reversed Toni Storm's big package.
Yes, which is a very funny name. I thought it was good because they did a 4-way last week, and I thought, especially since they just did it to get a belt off Mercedes, I was like, they're going to have her become a number 1 contender by pinning someone else. But no, they had her pin Toni, which I thought was good. If you're going to do a match, she should get it that way. So Toni was like, all right, there you go. It's, you know, the old respect, you know, the old, we used to be lovers, and now we'll fight for a world title thing. Azumi made her way up after the match, and Monet jumped her. At which point, Jamie Hayter came out and jumped Monet. So there you go. That was the entirety of the Monet presence on the show. Jamie Hayter came and chased her off like a Scooby-Doo cartoon, which was, you know, there you go. Daniel Garcia came out to have a segment with our Nige. And this is a classic in the genre of FTR and Stokely, of course, come out.
No, only Stokely came out.
Sorry, only Stokely came out because Nigel was doing the this is the old Vampiro in Lucha Underground thing where he's not doing the I really wish I could fight but they're not letting me. He's trying to do the I'm a sensible owl. No, I shouldn't be getting involved. It's not this is me saying this. I'm not. That was wrong, mate. That was wrong. And Garcia's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're Nigel McGuinness. This is insane. Stokely comes out and he's doing his usual annoying Stokely thing, and he talks about how, you know, the FTR want a match because then they can't be held accountable for what they do to Nigel. So they did they officially announce it here? I can't remember if they announced or if that was Collision where they confirmed
Collision. Yeah.
So they confirmed they are going to have a match next week. It got physical at the end there, obviously, and Daddy Magic came out to run off the heels.
Yeah.
And that led us to our main event. The Steel Cage, Jon Moxley, Samoa Joe. Good match, I thought.
I thought it was pretty good.
No one ran in with bolt cutters.
No bolt cutters. Thank God. One of the better title defenses Moxley's had, I think. This run. Not that there's much to compare it to, but I think it was intense enough. Bit of blood. Technically no run in.
I mean, look, there were no tables in the ring, no barbed wire, chairs.
God bless. No thumbtacks.
This is what we called for. It was a cage match. Someone slid a briefcase in at the end.
2 lads beating each other up. Okay. One little foreign object. That's all right.
And it was the finish, so whatever, you leave it off.
Yeah.
In fact, they even went so. Not only did they not have people with bolt cutters, they did the classic thing of the heels did come down, and they're like, "Oh, it's taken us so long to get in that then the baby faces were able to come down and cut us off." So they tried to get in, but the cage it hindered them too much, which was good. and so the finish was, oddly enough, Gabe Kidd slid the briefcase in to help Mox. Now, I thought some people seemed perplexed by this. I thought the obvious story they're going to tell here is I'll put 5 whole euros down on this. Is that the Young Bucks are going to say that, well, we picked up the phone to our boyos in Shin Nippon because we wanted our contacts.
They worked a New Japan show with Gabe Kidd. That's
people were like, what's the connection to Gabe Kidd? I was like, well, they'll obviously, because they're trying to mooch up to Moxley. They'd be like, we put in a call with
we saw on last week's Dynamite, there was the shot of the door opened and the Young Bucks and the Death Riders were in the room together. So it's, it's there.
So is Gabe Kidd going to be another one of these lads that has quite a few AEW appearances in the run-up to him probably jumping at the first opportunity?
I mean, he does seem to be very pro New Japan.
He does. He wears it on his back, and he wears it with pride. I don't. Yeah, maybe that's. But when he talks, and he is obviously being groomed as a top foreigner there, which makes your steel ability very, very likely. But he does seem passionate for it. So we'll see. Good stuff. Enjoyed this one of Moxley's better matches in a while. They did a bunch of brawling after the fact. The Young Bucks raised the cage and then lowered the cage and brawled with Omega, who came down. Okada attacked his belly. All the heels, all the babyface, everyone came down. Swerve did a big jump off the cage and ran them off, and he did the first tease for Anarchy in the Arena, which they have not yet confirmed the teams for. So I mean, because it's weird, because even on the heel side, you've got like. It could just be the Death Riders. Also, you could do any number of people, couldn't you? It doesn't have to be 5v5. I mean, you could do like the Death Riders and the Elite versus like basically all the baby faces.
Yeah, it'll be 7-on-7 possibly.
And they did tease that the women would be in it as well.
I think it will be 5. I think it will be 5. I have a nitpick about this segment, but I also have a thumbs up about the segment.
Go on.
We'll start with the good. All the big stars coming out at the end one by one with their music reminded me of like late 99, early 2000s Smackdown, when fucking the heels, the McMahon Helmsley regime would be beaten up on The Rock, and the Undertaker's music plays and he runs out, and Kane's music plays and he runs out. And it's exciting and fun. So when the heels are beaten up in the cage and then whose house? Oh, I was popping here. My nitpick of the week, though, is Okada, who came out and punched Kenny in the ribs, and then just like ran backstage, seemingly because he's not going to be involved in the match. Why did they have him out there at all then?
This guy, what a living this guy is making. I mean,
we know
he throws 1 punch a week.
Like, we know he's going to be facing Kenny at all in. That notwithstanding, they seem to be building this whole other match for him at Double or Nothing with like Mike Bailey and Roosh. Whether it'll be a singles or a 3-way, I'm not sure. But him being out here felt like, oh, he's not even in the match, so why have him involved? Like, again, I get that they need to keep dropping the breadcrumbs for him and Kenny, but I don't know. Someone who's in the match could have done that same thing. So I'm guessing it's going to be Swerve, Joe, Hobbs, Willow, of course, and maybe a mystery 5th against Mox, Kidd, the Young Bucks, and like Claudio. I'm guessing it'll be something along those lines.
It's weird.
Again, they could do 6, they could do 7, but I think they usually do. It's 5-on-5, right?
Yeah, but also the match is such mayhem that they don't have to.
That's my other nitpick, though, is that they've fallen into this WWE routine of doing Anarchy in the Arena on the same pay-per-view every year.
Yeah, I really dislike that. And I tell you what, it'll also annoy me as well, is if in like 6 weeks' time they start advertising Blood and Guts, like
which they will, because that's how they do it every year.
That's how they do it. Yeah, that's an underrated thing. They actually don't get enough shit about that they've started doing that. But yeah,
Blood or Guts being a show in whatever June or July I don't like it, but fair enough. But Double or Nothing, there's no reason that has to be the Anarchy in the Arena show every year.
Yeah, you could justify the logic internally within kayfabe. It's like, well, we have to know when we have to book 2 rings, you know. So there'll have to be something on that show, maybe. But even that's a bit silly. But I'm totally with you. Good Dynamite. Not the highs of recent weeks, but it was solid.
Solid
with a good main event, a good Moxie match, which you can't ask for. This kind of reminded me how much I liked Moxie pre-Death Riders, this match.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You can still go. Collision was a very run-of-the-mill collision. It was one of those. It was okay. I don't think there was anything. It was very skippable, Joe. You didn't really miss much. Yeah. I'll pull it up here and go through the results quickly. My collision didn't turn into Black Adam an hour and a half in either, interestingly. So Megan Bain defeated Anna Jay. If you recall some of my criticisms of Megan Bain and her finisher from a few weeks ago, she hit Anna Jay with the worst looking F5 possibly in history. And Anna Jay is not huge. You know what I mean? Anna Jay is not like trying to hit Powerhouse Hobbs with an F5. Anna Jay is quite a slight little lady. But she could barely get her up and she could barely get her over for it. And it looked terrible. So I don't know if maybe there's a better finisher that Megan Bain could use. Give her a big old choke slam or something.
Yeah, because I mean, we've been remarking on this since she debuted, and like I said, Anna tiny, like, you know, it's not, it's not great, is it?
Well, even the review I'm looking at here of the show says a lot of the women are struggling with taking Fate's Descent, so this looked a little rough. I would say that's putting it very kindly, but also if a lot of women are struggling with taking the move, then maybe it's not the women, that's the constant.
Well, this is the thing, yeah. That's what
ultimately the move is. I hoist you up on my shoulders and throw you over. That's it. On the other side of the spectrum, Kyle Fletcher defeated AR Fox and hit him with a great looking brainbuster, one of the best looking brainbusters I've seen in a very long time. Absolutely killed him with it, so I did. Brody King, Ishii, and Bandito defeated Lance Archer and RPG Vice. So they're not exactly putting the rocket behind them. But King, Ishii, and Bandito got the win here. We had the Grizzly Young Vets segment I mentioned earlier. So they're doing Paragon against Grizzly Young Vets on Collision this coming week. Which is this week's Collision a Thursday or a Saturday? I don't recall.
Who knows?
I don't remember. Mike Bailey defeated Blake Christian with again, sorry to report that this was something that happened a lot in Collision, but he beat him with his spinning time adventure kick that Nigel said, oh, he didn't quite get all of it. One of those. Again, Barry, to your point, he grabbed the mic and challenged Okada to come out and fight him. Okada came out and I think he said about 4 words on the microphone. That was his work for the night.
It's a good gig if you can get it.
It certainly is. Roosh then attacked Bailey from behind. So I wonder if we're getting Roosh, Okada, Bailey triple threat at Double or Nothing.
The thing about this fucking guy, do a singles match. It's like, this is one of those matches where I'm like, any combination of these 3 guys would probably be great, but I'm way less interested when it's a 3-way. I'd love a good long Roosh singles match on a paper-view. I feel like the way they're so hot and cold with him, like he shows up on TV, you just get him squashing people, which is fun. But like, you know, it's been a while since he had like the Danielson match, the Jungle Boy match, like something for him to really sink his teeth into, you know?
Yeah. Learning Tree and Gates of Agony had a very fun street fight. Keith and Big Bill did get the win, so this is where they're trying to build these guys up in Jericho's absence. It was quite fun, quite good. We had the Steve Mongo McMichael little memorial segment. which was nice. Ric Flair was there. Very earnestly talked about Mongo. Sons of Texas defeated Crew, as we covered earlier. With Sammy won with the GTH on Andretti, which was good. And then Powerhouse Hobbs, Wheeler Yuta was the main event. Hobbs won with the Spinebuster. Shafir and Willow got involved, and they were brawling a little bit. That was it. So it was kind of a fun, eventful
Sunday Night Heat main event there.
Yeah.
Sunday Night Heat show, to be honest. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Maybe next year for the fantasy points, we give Collision doesn't get as many points as Dynamite.
Just stop watching it.
Yeah. I know, it's been all right. This year it has been all right.
No, it's been a lot better.
This sounds like a quieter one.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, their schedule is like this. It was Thursday. This was taped on, so it's been a schedule. I think it not being live so often, I think, de-incentivizes them. Obviously, the ones that follow the sports do very well, but so they put stuff on that one. But these ones where it's not live and for no particular, strong reason, I don't know if there's the incentive to load it. How was Dark Side this week? I mean, what bizarre timing for an episode.
I know.
Very chic. Very, very,
and Sabu
very, very,
was on as a talking head on it as well.
Yeah. How was it?
Very good. Very good. I mean, this felt more so than the last couple of weeks. This felt like a topic that could have easily fit within the first season or two. The original Sheik, a pioneer in terms of weapon use and character, and people talk about the Undertaker being all the time in character and being so reluctant to come out of character. I mean, the Sheik was doing that 20 years before the Undertaker even existed. They talked a lot about his influence. I mean, again, one of those really influential characters that maybe doesn't get the credit that he deserves for that. They also covered the very famous FMW fire match, with Sabu and Onita. And they talked about how he trained RVD, trained Sabu. The good amount of time dedicated to Sabu as well. And, as we talked about last week, also a pioneer. I mean, Sabu and the Sheik, both pioneers in each in their own way. So very good episode. Didn't fall into some of the trappings that I feel like a lot of the episodes do. They did touch on some. He had some gambling, addiction issues, but they didn't. The episode didn't follow the same kind of template of, he was on the come up, and then the drugs and the drink, and then
the vices got him.
No, this was a very different story about a guy who was, again, way ahead of his time, and then kind of almost by the time the wrestling really kicked off, he was really, really past it. I mean, they also touched on his appearance at Halloween Havoc, where Sabu caught him with the moonsault and broke his leg. But no, it was well worth watching. Very, very good episode. So I think there's 2 left. I forget what we have next week, but then we have Muhammad Hassan the week after.
Oh yes, yeah,
which is again one that I feel like has been a long time coming. Next week we have Daphne. That's sure to be a sad one.
Oh God, yeah,
Jesus, I don't know how much of the TNA debacle they can go into.
I'm certain that will have to be a big point of it, because I mean, that's one of those that Abyss spot thing where he threw her out of the ring and all this stuff. I mean, that was a turning point in her life, sadly. I mean, it was that one's gonna be hard. That one's gonna be very sad, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then Muhammad Hassan, which I imagine he will probably appear as talking head. I've read a lot of interviews with him over the last year, so he seems to be very open about talking about it. But that'll be an interesting one.
That'll be that's I think that's a little bit of an underrated wrestling controversy, because I feel like it's only wrestling fans really know about. But that was so completely outrageous. I mean, it was just so. But and I'm sure
when you consider they were still doing that, and to an extent continued afterwards, but they were still doing the kind of Vince McMahon. I mean, Vince loved a foreign heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still doing that into like 2005, which is crazy to me. I mean, if he was in charge today, we probably would have MAGA storylines and fucking.
We had like Lana going Vladimir Putin not that long ago. That wasn't that long ago.
Oh. Yeah, Jerry Lawler doing ramen moonsault references and stuff.
God almighty.
5 years ago or whatever that was.
Yeah. So I'm a bit behind. I think this season has been pretty good.
It's been fine. I feel like there's just too many episodes that follow that same formula.
Yeah, and quite a few that are like on the cusp of being really good, but you kind of wish they're just missing something, you know.
The Mick Foley one, I feel like.
The Mick Foley one is the new like tentpole, I think, example of
that. It's not even a Mick Foley one. It's Hell in the Cell 98. Is it not?
Yeah. But then weirdly, it does touch on a bunch of the other stuff, but just so briefly before losing interest. Anyway, we will. I'm going to try and catch up there before the season finishes. Segueing over to non-wrestling television. I haven't really watched anything new this week. I'm still quite a way behind on Andor, which did wrap up its final. It was 3 episode drops the whole way through, wasn't it?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you feeling now that it's all said and done?
I thought it was really great. I do have a lot of fondness for especially Force Awakens. I think Force Awakens is as good as they could have realistically done a reboot.
Yes.
And I really like Last Jedi, controversy notwithstanding. And I don't get me wrong, I fully agree with the fundamental truth that it was a horrible part 2 of a trilogy, but I don't put any blame on Rian Johnson for that. I mean, why they let him like literally just do whatever he wanted is mad. I like the film in isolation. It undoubtedly fucked it as a trilogy. Undoubtedly. I do like that movie in isolation. But I think that Andor, across his 2 seasons, especially season 2, Andor might be like the best Star Wars thing since like Empire, to be honest. I would struggle to think of something as consistently good. Certainly better than the prequels, certainly better than Rise of Skywalker. I would say, objectively speaking, probably better than Last Jedi and Force Awakens.
It's probably, I haven't even finished it yet, but it's probably better than those.
I think Andor season 2 only gets better the longer it goes on. Like, I think it does a lot of the like setup in the first 3-4 episodes that some people have kind of given up on it. It's too boring. People talking, blah, blah. As it goes on, the payoffs are super, super satisfying, super, super well executed. So I would say Andor probably the best Star Wars property since like 1980. And I think Guillermo's absolutely nailed it. And I mean, the best compliment I can give it is that it's good or it's great. Even not saying it's great for Star Wars. It's just a great series.
It's just great. Yeah,
it's just great, and it's one of those things where you could easily see it existing as it's like strip all the Star Wars references and stuff out of it, and you just have your own, or even strip all the sci-fi out of it, and you could just have a modern espionage, war. But like it's not about the war itself, but about the like I said, espionage and politics behind, and you could just have a really great TV show. Just so happens to take place in the Star Wars universe, where so much of the slop that people enjoy is not great. And there's no lightsabers in it. There's no Jedi in it. There's no glorp shitto in it. There's no remember that droid from the background of the Jawa land Sandfall, whatever it was called. No, there's none of that. It's just a show about these characters, and it's really well written. It's really well plotted. It's well paced. You never feel like you're being talked down to. It never, falls back on the old try and true. Fucking get Luke Skywalker cameo. Fucker.
Yeah.
Lightsaber. It never, resorts to any of that. It's just an extremely solid story told across these like 24 episodes across the 2 series. I mean, as someone who's so burnt out, and we all are, but as someone who's so burnt out on Star Wars, so burnt out on Disney properties, generally speaking, Star Wars, MCU, I don't care. I never watched Obi-Wan. I never watched The Acolyte. I never watched... I watched Mandalorian. Mandalorian is fucking terrible by season 3. Absolute shit.
Yeah. I got to the end of season 2 and I was like, I'm out, man.
Yeah, but that's a show that by the end of season 2, and especially season 3, I felt like I was having my intelligence insulted by watching it.
Yeah.
Because it was just slop. It was like, I mean, this is the thing, right? Andor is, this is going to sound very like, it's real to me, damn it, in a sense. But Andor never feels like a show made for kids or made for families even. It is an adult show.
Yeah.
And so that's, I guess, why. And it's not adult in the, Star Wars, but they say fucking show ladies boobies. No, it's just like, kids wouldn't enjoy Andor. Kids wouldn't enjoy it because it is very conversational. It is very political, and it is that kind of show. It's not a show with pew 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 and look. There's none of that. It's just very, very like you would see on primetime TV. It is of that ilk. And so, 2 thumbs up from me. I thought it got better as it went along. I thought the last 3 episodes were really, really top notch. So big recommendation for me, for anyone who is sick to the back teeth of what Star Wars has become. And I'm not someone who typically subscribes to the I hate Kathleen Kennedy, fucking whenever I hope she died, like that. Okay. Star Wars fans who are that big into it, like, just watch other stuff. Your whole life doesn't need to be Star Wars. But I think it's true that the general quality of these properties is not very good at the moment. The shows are not good. Andor somehow is the standout among the slop. Tony Gilroy just has nailed it, has nailed the formula. And I would like to see more of, he doesn't necessarily do any more Andor because that story has concluded. The end of Andor reaches the point of like Rogue One beginning. They don't necessarily like lay it up so cleanly that it would be annoying, but the story does reach that point. But I would like to see Tony Gilroy
walk into like the beginning.
So exactly. And what was this? There was something I watched recently. There was a prequel series where it literally did do that, and I was annoyed by it. I don't remember what it was.
What was that exorcism movie? No, The Omen.
Oh, the Omen movie, yeah, where the child's name from the movie The Omen is Damien.
Oh, with the music. Oh god, that was rubbish. Good movie,
but I would like to see Tony Gilroy not necessarily do more in Star Wars, but I would like to see more from him of this like style show. Ideally in the real world, so we can get this crying Star Wars babies to the side of the conversation. But really, 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 really top notch stuff.
What else did you watch this week?
The Eurovision.
Oh, you watched the Eurovision?
Yeah.
I didn't think Eurovision was your thing.
Up and down on Eurovision. I don't watch it every year. Joe, do you watch any Eurovision this year?
Well, I was out. I got in at got in at 10 to 12, so I did catch most of the final vote.
Yeah. What did you think of the UK song? Did you hear the UK song this year?
I heard it once on the radio.
I thought it was great. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was one of the better ones they had.
Yeah,
how did they do?
It's like mid-table, which is respectable, really.
I mean, UK have got like 0 before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
both the jury and the public. But no, I thought they had the little girl group. I thought they were very good. But this was a Eurovision that had very little to do with the music, unfortunately. With Israel winning by a landslide the public vote.
Yeah,
which I
really.
100%. And I saw a good comment online that said, if you're pro-Israel, you had one choice. If you were anti-Israel, you had 25 choices.
Yeah.
So logically speaking, people who were on the anti-Israel side of things
Maybe
splitting their votes to an extent. But like Israel won the public vote handily, but the jury vote added to the public vote, thus meaning that Austria, which is one of your classic melodramatic tracks.
A Eurovision song.
Well, with Eurovision you have two main categories. You have, oh, I'm here on a sailboat and I'm going down. And then you have, I'm a silly lumberjack, listen to my song. And I normally kind of err towards those ones. I really like the Sweden track because it was very, very silly. They did not win, though. It was Austria who won. So, clap for Austria. And like I said, I did like the UK. I did like the UK track, and I still feel a little bad that the UK did not win the Sam Ryder year. Where,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, look, the situation Ukraine notwithstanding, UK that felt a little bit like UK should have won that one and didn't on a technicality, but the time will come.
Yeah.
Just wheel Sam Ryder out again. Fuck it, him again.
I always said let's put Elton John in it. Come on, if we really want to win it, let's send in the big guns. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get Ed Sheeran and bloody, I don't know, Adele. Fucking around these people I've never heard of.
What are the rules?
It's like watching Collision. Get them
the Sons of Texas. What? Because with the Olympics, it's like obviously you can't be like an actual pro athlete to go to the like. Why can't countries just say?
Well, it has to be an original
Oasis?
Song. It has to be an original song.
Oasis could write an original song.
But I don't think, I don't
even know what that means.
I don't think there's any actual rules against it.
No, just
only that
because it's
Ed Sheeran would say, I'll do it, no problem. That'll be £20 million.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like not worth it to the and also the prestige of hosting the Eurovision as it once was now is just another. It's kind of like another mouth to feed. Another fucking thing to put on that's going to cost us so much money.
Yeah, that's been a very long-standing conspiracy theory in Ireland, is that they're intentionally, because we won it years and years and years in a row, and some people, I don't think there's any merit. I just think we're shit, but some people think that we're doing it. They're throwing it on purpose because they don't want to host.
The thing is, if Ireland wanted to win the Eurovision, there's a very simple formula, right? It's you dial the Irishness up by about 20%. You get some fucking Irish dancers on the side.
Fella in a jumper.
Fella with a jumper on the fiddle.
Fella with a jug.
Yeah. People love the Irish, Barry. But what we do is we just serve up some generic Euro plop.
They love the idea
we didn't win. What?
Their idea of Ireland, which is probably 300 years out of date. That's what similar to Britain.
You need to be giving them like Wild Mountain Time, like that kind of shit, you know. Get Christy Moore. Christy Moore is still on the go. Christy Moore, and do a good old Irish trad song. Like, come on, Europe would love a good Irish trad song.
I don't know. They're all about killing colonizers.
No, but you're right. A new one has to be an original song. So you're right.
That's the original one.
You're right. Okay. One about
Christy
my
Moore's
old mother.
I like just doing a dance for no particular reason. I blows into me jug.
I've emigrated to America again.
Can't get a mortgage. I'm going to Australia.
I miss me mammy back in my old.
Oh, they should send a comedy song about chicken rolls or something. I don't know.
We tried sending Dustin the Turkey and that didn't work.
I forgot we did do that. Yeah, we said a puppet. Oh God,
we tried the joke avenue. That didn't work. You need to go for the earnest trad song. I'm telling you, that's how we win it. And sends the trick is you don't send Christy Moore. You send like a shirtless Irish hunk.
Oh,
because you want to get the trad vote. You also want to get the gay vote. Very important for your
yes.
What are you doing next year, Paul?
I need to give me a few months to.
It's the prize money. If you could you spend it on the house if you won?
Yeah. I mean, I've already spent the money on the house, but yeah, sure, why not? But because it's the thing, they had 26 acts last night. I will say, number one, the banger ratio was severely down. Not a lot of bangers. And they only had like one shirtless hunk on it, which I was surprised by. I mean, I would imagine on a show like Eurovision, you would have had at least 5. So yeah, it was a very run-of-the-mill show, like I say. Not kind of, they dialed the freak show element of it significantly. And it was just people kind of singing bleh pop songs, only a handful of like comedy ones. Lot of not very good, not very catchy. Like, how hard is it to write a catchy little like chorus? I mean, very, very. But so many of them I was like, oh, here comes the big chorus, and then it would be a letdown time after time after time. So yeah, not a very good Eurovision. I remember like 2017 or 18, there was some like 5 tracks that I added to my like Spotify the night after. This year, none, 0. So not very good. So watch Eurovision. Taskmaster. Good episode of Taskmaster, I thought.
Solid, pretty solid.
I liked it better than last week. Although, what were those boys doing with those cushions, Joe? Because
I couldn't understand that. I didn't know what was going on.
They both figured out a way to win it, and then they both just
messed it up.
So Barry, just to set the scene, right? There was a task.
Go on.
Where little Alex Horn,
yeah,
he was standing within like a building. It was like a facade of a building, and so he could see out through the windows and the open door. And so you had to take some cushions out of a wheelie bin.
Yeah.
And make your way to the other bin, which is on the other side of the windows. Like, you're on the right side of the house, you have to make to the left side of the house without Alex Horn seeing you. So he was like opening his eyes and closing his eyes at random intervals. And so you would have to like crawl under the first window and peep around and see if he could see you. And so one of the contestants really smartly walked around to the back of Alex. So Alex was just like, couldn't like turn around. He just was opening and closing his eyes. So he couldn't see him. But then he like threw his cushions away. And one of the rules is your cushions cannot touch the ground. So he just threw his cushions and they landed on the ground. I was like, what are you doing? Why'd you not just walk around to the bin? And then the other guy did this real elaborate like crawl. So he was crawling on his back, wiggling on his back underneath the windows. So he seemed to do really well. And then they showed the clip where it's like, also in the rules was like, you're not allowed to move the bins. First thing he did was push the bin like a meter, which gave him no advantage, but disqualified him. So two of the guys like essentially figured it out and worked out how to beat it. And then both messed it up for no reason.
That's silly.
Silly.
They do sometimes make the rules so overly elaborate that it's quite hard to...
This is the thing.
Yeah, almost to catch people out. Like, why? There was no reason... Well, they said you couldn't move the bin. Like, what was the real reason for that? I guess
why?
You could have just wheeled... I suppose you could have wheeled just the things.
Yeah.
But then they would have seen the cake. So...
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I feel like with some of the tasks, with this one, for example, if you were seen or if you broke a rule like that, just reset your progress. You still have 6 minutes or whatever it is, but all your cushions go back to the first bin, as opposed to you lose outright, which felt a little bit harsh. I like the live task a lot as well, with the you do the previous action, which is funny. But no, I enjoyed it a lot. But I agree. I think we said this last week. I much prefer a very simple task. Think back to throw the potato into the hole.
Yeah.
You yourself have performed.
I've done that one.
You know, that's what I like more than throw the thing into the hole, plus you have to say state capital every 10 seconds, plus you have to stand backwards, plus you have to rub your head and pat your tummy, plus a parrot will squawk every 5 seconds. You know, like...
They had to like throw stuff over the fence and get it to land in the bin, things like that.
Stuff like that.
It's like it's infuriating, but it's very simple.
Right. And that's... I much prefer the really simple stuff than the overly, you know, they tack on to something simple. They tack on 4 or 5 layers of rules. which, and just even from a viewer point of view, it's easier to follow something that's very, very simple and is more enjoyable as a result. But I generally like this episode as well. I thought it was quite good. And then Last of Us and The Studio. I thought it was, again, a very good episode of The Studio this week. Only one left. One remains.
Which one was? What was the recent?
This was the party in the
the thingy. Was it the announcement?
Oh, the Comic-Con thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Party-
Comic-Con announcement thing
Comic-Con.
where they had to try and save the studio.
Yeah.
It worked quite well. It was quite nice.
It was. If you're watching a Seth Rogen series and going, when are we going to get the stoner episode? This-
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This was it. But it was actually very good. I mean, I find sometimes that comedy a little tiring, but I thought here it was actually, the way they did it was funny because a lot of the characters didn't realize what they were imbibing or how much of it they were because of a comedic mix-up earlier in the episode. Which I thought was really funny. That was probably my favorite part of the episode, where when he was buying the mushrooms, which were like cooked into chocolate or something, right? Isn't that what it was? And he was like, "How much is in this?" And she goes, two eighths. And he goes, "What's that?" But no, he goes, 2/8. What's that? 0.25? Like, working out the fractions. Instead of literally, it's 2/8 of an ounce or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So he's trying to 2/8 is a quarter, right? So very funny, and so I thought Zoe Kravitz was very, very good at this one. Yeah, very fun. And then Last of Us. I mean, I listened to Mark Kermode review Last of Us on his podcast this week. I thought it was interesting because he's someone who has had no experience of the game, but he's
not a gamer at all. Yeah,
but his take was very in line with someone who would have played the game, which was interesting. Because he talked about, and okay, look, this isn't a take that anyone would be exclusive to anyone who's only played the game, but he thought it was generally very, very good. But he had reservations about the tone. And like we've talked about on this show, Barry and Joe, a show that is at times very miserable and serious, and then at the flick of a switch, they're joking and laughing and having fun.
Yeah.
And so he was saying that those scenes where they're a little bit more sassy, a little bit more flippant, seem very at odds to the rest of the show. And of course, we've talked about, why that might be, and in terms of how the game handles that differently. But that was kind of his take as well. This last episode, again, I thought was okay. It does feel like the pace of the show is moving very quickly. Even with the split season, it does feel like there's not a huge amount of time taken to let things breathe and let the fallout of things be felt.
Yeah,
it feels like stuff happens, and then we're on to the next thing, and then we're on to the next thing, and so there's a bit of TNA to the back to it.
Yeah.
But again, I again understand that I'm the of all the people I know, I'm the highest on the show, and I don't think it's great, certainly, but I find it very passable and watchable. Like, I have no issue with it. But yeah, two more.
Yeah, I thought this week's was better. I think, I mean, it was only just 45 minutes this week, which I thought was odd. I don't know what the rationale is behind the season length, but I think it's been a huge mistake. Because we are now, obviously, like, a lot of this is like gameplay, so obviously it's never going to be 1-to-1. But this is like the Seattle section on its own is like 10 hours in the game, and they've condensed it down to what 3 episodes so far.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, in the game, you see the hospital in the distance, or even the WLF building or whatever.
Yeah.
You see the hospital distance, and so much of your time between the big story beats, are the journey to the destination. Now, obviously, they can't just show repeated platforming or repeated, and then they got attacked by another clicker, because that would get also very repetitive, very
Of course, yeah, of course.
But it does mean that these story beats happen seemingly very close together, because you're not seeing as much of that journey. You just we'll just skip that bit, and so the pacing does feel very different. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't have too much to say about this last episode. Obviously, the end of it, from the game point of view, is another of those kind of milestone moments where there is a lot of fallout in terms of the Ellie character, and I'm wondering how they'll portray that in the show. Will that be? From this moment on, will we start to see less and less of these happy moments, or
you'd hope so? Yeah,
I don't know.
If you want your in the books, Hermione is actually an inch shorter than Emma Watson moment for this week. I'll give you one. In the big climactic scene where Ellie's like basically torturing Nora for Abby's location, in a somewhat annoying, re-emphasizing things to the audience moment, Nora says she killed Abby's father. Ellie never knows that in the game. That is a small, but that is a big departure. I will say. And I don't know how that's really going to be for the better. I feel like it works better if she doesn't know that, but we'll see. Next, I feel like these last few episodes really have to hit, and I'm not. So next week's is a flashback episode. These, and now we've maligned the late season flashback episode before on this pod. Yeah. Obviously, we had the Severance one earlier this year that I think we all hated. Yeah. These, from the little teaser they put out, it looks like, Paul, it's pretty much all the flashbacks from that first half of the game squeezed into one episode.
Right.
So to assuage people somewhat, these are important. These are very important. So it's not time wasting rubbish, but I don't know. I just don't have the confidence that it'll hit. But I think these last two really have to hit, but I'm not super confident on it. Yeah. You caught up, Joe?
No, I'm not watching that anymore.
Okay, you're out.
It's boring. Yeah. I don't have any interest in the game, so there's no, like, if it's not...
Yeah, you don't have that emotional connection to it.
I don't need to see it, yeah. So I didn't care.
I mean, it's a shame because I think the storytelling in the second one is much more interesting than the first one. But the way they're handling it is very strange.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. These the next episode, obviously, they put Pascal at the end of that last episode, and oh God, this is just, again, I feel these scenes are so important in this next episode. You can't get them wrong. But we'll see.
So tag out Last of Us.
Go on.
Well, sorry, go ahead, Barry.
No, you go on. You go on.
I was going to say, Joe, you're tagging out Last of Us. You're tagging in The Rehearsal.
The Rehearsal. We watched the first two episodes, and thanks to Mr. Barry for his assistance in that matter. Never let it be said he's not a true gentleman.
No, of course.
We'll go to him. So, did watch that. Worked fine, except, completely unrelated matter to watching The Rehearsal, but I don't know if you lads have tried Plex, but... the old app on the TV wouldn't work. It's my only problem.
Yeah.
And I think maybe just not compatible with our model of TV or something.
Yeah,
but so anyway, works fine on the laptop. But anyway, The Rehearsal. It's more of the same, which is still kind of has you gasping and going, what on earth is going on? What's he going to do? But obviously, having watched the first season, it's not quite as shocking. It's my might impact, but very enjoyable, and you never quite know where he's going with it. So it's still following this kind of like mad scientist going through this journey. There's a few moments in it where you think, is this a bit too kind of wink wink or a bit too sort of knowing is my only thing, but enjoyed it. Kind of interested to see where it goes. And I found the pilot character, the real human being, in episode 1, the kind of guy who's got the girlfriend who lives far away, and they don't see each other. They talk and stuff. And like, God, that was a classic Nathan. Like, how did he find this person and get them to say all these things? That was really.
I mean, there's a worse version of them to come.
Oh God. Oh man.
Oh man. But I mean, episode 3 is really so far been the blow-away one. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts on that.
Now.
Yeah. Episode 3 is fun.
Yeah, very good. Very good. We'll keep watching that. Also finished season 1 of Slow Horses. Which I can't recommend highly enough. It's very funny. It's, spy show set in London with Gary Oldman farting a lot, and it's very funny, and it's about a group of B-list spies. It's very good. It's kind of funny. It's an inspired sort of thriller, but it's not like overly complicated, where I feel like a lot of shows feel this need to make it incredibly complex to follow, as if that makes it highbrow, or as if that makes it kind of more prestigious. Whereas in reality, you're just like, who the fuck is that person? Why did they say that? What's going on? There's nothing wrong with kind of simplicity in storytelling if it's just sort of executed well. So I like that aspect of it. Interesting character. It sets up a lot of things that are kind of going on in the history of the characters as well. So that's quite good. And yeah, it's great. I think the one thing that annoys me is it's such a well-made show, like such high production values. It's all set in London, and you just would never see a show like this from like the BBC or ITV or Channel 4, because they could just never afford to make a show this good because they don't have Apple TV budgets. So it's kind of great to see a show that's like set in London in the UK like that, but it's annoying that it takes American kind of networks or streamers to make it. But I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. Very good show, and there's another 3 series, so can't wait to get into them as well.
You won't look a slow horse in the mouth.
Oh, he's done it. He's done it.
He's done it.
Yeah, that's telly for the week. On the video game side, which has been taking up most of my time, I did put a bit more time into Clair Obscur, the French JRPG. It's great. It's really, really special. I am fascinated by it. It's world in particular, like it's got this great gameplay I talked about last week, but the story is shockingly interesting and cool and well voice acted. So that was chewing up my time for quite a while until the new Doom came out earlier this week. Doom the Dark Ages. I didn't really get along with Eternal. I tried to play it there recently on the PC, and I don't know why. I liked it when it first came out. I played a little bit of it. I just never finished it. There was something about the kind of rhythm of the using this type of attack to get ammo and using that type of attack. It is interesting, but I just never finished it. That isn't completely gone, but it does appear they've de-emphasized it in the Dark Ages. I mean, I think the big thing about Dark Ages is, first of all, you have a shield. And it sounds like sacrilege, but this is a kind of a more melee-focused Doom experience than probably you've ever seen before. It's got a shield. You've got multiple hand-to-hand attacks, and it's the other big change I think is it's very much a lot of it's not open world, but there's a lot of like it's set during a big war. And so there's a lot of big open battlefield locations where you are just like zooming across this huge open space and taking out huge swarms of enemies. It is really cool. All the weapons are incredibly satisfying. The the shield, you can use it to block and parry. You can also throw it like Captain America and stick it into enemies. And I unlocked this cool ability, this upgrade where if I throw it at a big enemy, it hits in their chest, and then I can shoot the shield and the bullets ricochet off the shield into other little enemies, which is just so satisfying. Everything you do in the game is super satisfying. It is super, super cool. There's a big mech which you walk around in, and there's like, you'll be running around the levels, and in the distance you'll see big like kaijus stomping around, big demon kaijus stomping around, and then you get in your mech and then you fight them in hand-to-hand combat, which plays a little bit like Punch-Out in a weird way. You bob certain directions to then hit them with uppercuts. It's great. Very cool. Very, very cool. I'm 6 or so levels in out of, I think, 22. It's great. It's really, really great. This is the first time I'm playing I'm playing this game with keyboard and mouse like a real nerd.
That's brilliant.
It's really great though. I'm like, oh, this actually feels it. Now I get why everyone's so elitist about this. It does feel really great.
What are you playing it on?
On the personal computer. Personal computer. That's right.
See, because I've been seeing the clips and people talking about it, and I'm a little bit jealous. I want Dark Age thing. I don't know how I'd play it though, because I haven't switched on my gaming PC for like 2 years. I'm not even sure it still works at this point.
Yeah.
I did look at the Steam Deck, which I was like, oh, that could be good, but from what I understand, it's not really It's more designed for portability, not for playing a high-end kind of game. So
yeah, it can kind of do more high-end stuff than you might expect, but we are like the last year and a half, you're kind of like the people like Doom's like a no-goer. We're kind of in the stage now where new big games are coming out and people are like, just no, don't even try it. Like there's other stuff where you can kind of you can make it look kind of grungy and shitty, but it'll work, and then you can't even do that. I think I think your avenues are the cheapest Xbox you can get is 300 quid. Right. You can get the Xbox that doesn't have a disc drive. That's just 300 bones, and you could then either buy it or you could get Game Pass, because that's a Microsoft game they own.
Right.
And so that's your tenner a month or whatever it is, 12 quid a month. So you can play it that way. Or the other thing, I don't see it coming to the original Switch, but I would say maybe it'll come to that Switch too at some point. I don't know if that's on your agenda.
Possibly. I'm waiting on the Mario game.
Yeah.
If that eventually comes out, I suppose I'll have to get it. Problem is, I also I don't want to get a Switch 2 because all I do is play Mario. It's just a Mario machine. I don't play anything else really. So I'm like, ideally I would just have the PC, but I don't want to spend a lot of money on a PC gaming, which I'm not going to use for anything else. It's like, it's a bit of a pain in the... There needs to be one... Could they just make one box that plays all the games? Just like, you know what I mean? Just let's do that. That's
like a Blu-ray player plays all your Blu-rays.
Exactly. I just get a big black box that plays Mario and everything else, and then I'll buy that. But
it is cool. What you could do is you could play it via the cloud. You could buy an Xbox controller, buy one of them little clips that puts your phone on top of the controller, right? And if you subscribe to Game Pass, it does include a cloud option, so you can play on your phone, which is not a great way to play Doom. But you could, for 15 quid a month, you could do that. Actually, I think you could do that on the PC as well. But again, it's a little bit of a lag to it. But like that cloud stuff is like, it's better than you might think if you've never done it before. It is actually all right. But yeah, I don't know. This is because we are kind of in this period now where a lot of these games are coming out, and even on the PC side, it's kind of like they put out these graphs of like, here's your like minimum requirements to run this, and they're pretty hefty these days. The days of it, like, oh, if you turn down every setting, you can run it on a potato. The potatoes are now very expensive.
It's so crazy that that is still a thing of like compatibility and having the hardware.
Yeah.
I just feel like, because that was obviously that's always been a huge thing when I was playing PC games, but I would have thought by 2025 it'd be like, right, just you need this thing and this plays this thing. Like, it's bad that that's, and I'm not a big gamer, but like, it's crazy that that's still a thing, that there's sort of standardization of like, again, it's like Paul's Blu-ray analogy. You can only watch this film on this particular powerful Blu-ray thing. Well,
yeah,
that's mad.
It is still the consoles. They're still your kind of like, you want one-stop shop. It's us, you know.
I mean, I do feel like we're starting to approach that now, though, in terms of Microsoft have completely fallen apart, and Xbox seems to be becoming a more genericized option. So you've really only got Sony and Nintendo left.
Yeah.
So I wonder, in 10 years' time, whether the landscape might look very different. Possibly.
I think it will. Yeah, I think it will. You any interest in Doom, Paul?
Yeah. I mean, I've still haven't played 2016 or Eternal, so I will.
Oh, really? Wow.
First. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. Just never got around to it. I just play Oblivion for my whole life, basically. Which I must be like 60 hours into now at this stage. So yeah, and similarly, we did have a GTA 6 trailer, and I'm also not our resident GTA man, but it did look very good. So I mean, I've tried with 2 GTA games to get into them. I just have never been able to with 4 and 5. I didn't play any of the PS2 ones because I did not own that console. But 4 and 5 I tried. I played 4 for like an hour. Didn't really enjoy it. 5 I played for maybe 5 hours. 4 of which I spent jumping a car off a jump. I didn't really do much else then. But yeah, I don't know, Joe, as you know, you mentioned with your Switch analogy there, you did play some of the GTA remasters. Yeah. That came out. Have you ever been interested to dip your toe into 4 or 5 at all?
I played about 2 hours of 4 and found it incredibly banal.
Yeah.
It was just like real life. It's just like, oh, go drive to this place, meet this guy, fill out
a form,
write an email. Like, what? Fuck yeah.
Stand in the queue and
shoot someone. No, it's a bollocks. Go bowling. Take your date bowling to a thing. And so I never got to GTA 5. But I might give that a go.
Because GTA 5 would be
on Steam. I've never played it.
Yeah, I mean, even GTA 5 surely would be playable on. Is that on Switch? GTA 5 at all?
No.
Because that's like a 2013 game. That's strange that never came to Switch.
Yeah, I could probably play that on Steam on my laptop.
Yeah. And again, like 6 is another. I mean, if you wanted to justify a console purchase to yourself, you're like, oh, you got Doom, you got GTA next year. It's worth thinking about. I thought the trailer was. I mean, as someone who didn't really like 5, I played them all. As someone who didn't really give a shit about 5, and other than it's like amusing meme status, I don't really care about 6. I'm not sitting here waiting on 10 jokes. When that trailer came out, I was like, Jesus Christ! I mean, it looks ludicrously nice. I mean, it looks just absolutely preposterously. The visual fidelity is just insane. So that's
we had some very silly people online going, is this game anti-cop?
That is so funny. One of my favorite tweets of all time, top 5 loser moment in the history of humanity is Elon Musk going, just couldn't get into it. I had to kill cops in the first mission, and I couldn't do it. It's like, why do you do fun, man? Why why it's like who, that is the loserest take I've ever read in my life. Yeah, I thought, and again, one of the things I disliked about 5 is I thought that story was just obnoxious. All the characters were fucking insufferable. This seemed like the vibe of this seemed way cooler and way more interesting and less. I mean, those games are just so kind of like, they're all kind of nihilistic and off-putting, and everyone's an arsehole, and some of it's funny, but like a 5, I thought was kind of unfair. But whereas this kind of seemed like you got a little bit of an anti-hero thing going on. Yeah, I thought it was really cool.
Very good.
Just a year to go for that bad boy.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's time for our weekly laugh at the album. Oh God, and a good title as well. A very good title.
Who's in the back of the taxi? Is that you, Joe? Being driven to the show?
That's me.
The meter's running, pal. That's great stuff.
The meter's running, fella.
Alrighty, and with that, with our main event over and done with, we will call that a show. Thank you very much, listeners. We'll be back next week with is it pay-per-view go home?
Yes.
Next week. Yes, next week.
Wow, okay, that card's shaping up pretty good. So we will talk about the go home TV. We will preview the pay-per-view. We will also give you any follow-up news coming from the week's TV, as well as what will we have? You'll have a studio finale, will you? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
studio finale, penultimate Last of Us, rehearsal follow-up, I'm sure. So all that to look forward to. ChairShotPodcast.com obviously is where you can listen to the show. It's where you can email us if you've taken. It's also where you can check out the Fantasy League in real time. There's some trades formulating. There's some people eyeing up the free agents. What would you do, listener? We trust you more than anyone else, right? So you tell us. So with all that said, thanks for listening, folks, and thanks to my co-host. It's goodbye from me, Barry. It's goodbye from Paul.
Right.
And it's goodbye from Joe. He's muted, but he said bye.
Goodbye.